G'day, Bretto here, and I'm here with Jono. We are super pumped to be announcing our new wine label called Smoke Eaters. We're so happy that we've actually come together. Both of us are firefighters, and we've got the name Smoke Eaters is derived from an old nickname of firefighters because back then they didn't have breathing apparatus and had to breathe in smoke. We are super pumped because this wine that we're able to get to you is like a real old school wine where we've got lots of oak. It's basically double oak. And Jono, you want to take it away?
Yeah, so a lot of the feedback that I get as a winemaker is that people want these big, bold wines, and maybe not necessarily what you're reading in the wine magazines, where they're trying to convince everybody that the more contemporary or light to medium bodied wines are the way to go. So we're just listening to the people, really. We're making a very big, bold, intense wine. So a bit like firefighters, I suppose. And certainly
very.
A lot of our peers really enjoy those bigger wines as well. So I guess it's sort of inspired from that.
Yep.
It's a vineyard that I'm very familiar with, where we'll source the bulk of the fruit from, and the partnership here just makes sense.
Yeah, with it, I picked Jono. Jono is one of the elite winemakers up here in the Barossa. He's learnt under some of the big names in the industry, people that used to make Grange and all that. So really a top level winemaker. And we just love that. I met Jono through the fire service a few years ago, and just loving how particular he was, almost anal. And that really shows in the winemaking. He does not cut corners. Everything is down the line, and we don't do anything on the cheap. So it's all some of the best barrels that you're going to get your hands on.
Yeah, well, that's the thing about it is you get out what you put in. So you must start with the best fruit. And so a big part of my job is finding growers that we can partner with, getting really, really good primary produce, just like running a really great restaurant.
Yep.
You want the perfect produce to start with, and then you can start to create beautiful dishes out of it. That's where it starts. And then things like oak, you mentioned, we want that real intensity to complement a lot of these big, big, bold wines that we're looking to make. But I don't just go in with a prescription. You really have to assess the fruit on its own merits and roll with it and adjust as required. So we're definitely not hard-nosed about what we produce, but quality is always the top of our priority. And just by virtue of that, we end up with incredible intensity through both the size and the intensity of the berries that we're picking, but also the oak ratio that you mentioned before.
Yeah, and it's so important. Once you taste the wines, you'll see what we mean. It needs to be decanted, and great to have with a steak or some big meaty dishes, because it really is a big bold wines. We're really happy that we can actually produce this wine and give it to the consumer, you guys. And basically our customers are going to be getting the best quality wine at the best price, because you don't see any like fancy wineries or anything like that, tasting cellar doors or anything like that here. You're not paying for any of that. You're not paying for marketing, that big marketing campaigns. You're not paying for all that. So what you get is the best quality that you can get. So basically it's $60 to $80 bottle wines that we're going to try and get to you guys around that $30, $35 mark. And once you taste it, you'll definitely understand what we're talking about.
Yeah, it was great to have Brett come along and approach me to partner. And the partnership does make perfect sense. We had this beautiful wine sitting there, and I wanted to really showcase particularly the Schmidt vineyard, but we'll probably have maybe somewhere in the mid-range, medium bodied wine that will complement the range. But the backbone of this brand, this label, is around the Schmidt family vineyard, and it was just it was the perfect combination, really. So the partnership definitely makes sense from that point of view.
And what we really want to focus on is like everything local and family businesses. So we really want to support that. The best thing about starting this business that we're excited for is that we're going to donate percentage of our profits to fire-related charities. And that really means something to us, and that gives us that little bit of motivation as well. And we're super pumped about that as well.
Yeah, definitely. We're sort of standing on the shoulders of giants in a lot of ways, and we're very, very lucky to be working in the time and the culture that we're working in at the moment as professional firefighters. Because you mentioned it before, the firefighters that came before us didn't have the same safety and protective measures, nor the same culture, and so. We want to pass that back. It's a very, very strong family vibe in emergency services and defence.
Yeah.
And it's no different here, particularly in the Barossa Valley where we are now. It's a very strong family culture. We're here at the Schmidt family vineyards. We're going to go have a look at the cooperage later. Andrew Stiller he and his family run the cooperage and do all of our custom barrels that we make up each year to complement the wines and get exactly what we want.
I think one thing that we're going to do, and hopefully you guys can follow us, is that we want to give that education back to you guys and show you um, what the difference is between a good wine and then a crappy wine, and so it gives you the education. You don't have to buy a wine. We don't really care, but it's good for you guys to see what makes a good wine, and also for your health and that as well. So we really want to show you to dodge those bad wines out there and what they look like. We can show you what makes a cheap wine and why it is cheap and the taste. And you can really tell the difference, and especially with your wines and that. In the mornings, I wake up clear-headed, but some of the other ones, that they've overdosed it with sulfur and all these other nasty chemicals that luckily we got Knowlesy here, that Jono, to go through and show the secrets of the wine industry, to show you how they trick some of the consumers, and we're definitely not here for that.
No, so some of the things that we'll cover is probably antioxidants. A lot of people are very interested in how wine is preserved and and why they might be used, and how we go about avoiding them, because you don't have to use some of those nasty preservatives along the way if you've A, picked the right fruit, and B, using the right methods and winemaking techniques. You can just be a bit more careful. You can use wines that have very high natural antioxidants, and we'll explain what things like phenolics and colour and some of those other tannins are, and how they relate back to keeping your wine safe and secure.
Yeah. Oh, we're really excited, and hopefully you can join us on our journey. Cheers, Jono.
Cheers.